Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Okay, so just bear with me. There is an image that I've been sent just now that I think would be fairly fitting that I didn't actually see before this point. So I will just be applying that in the meantime while I talk and do the intro. Because, yeah, you know, a little bit of human multitasking there. That's something we're not going to get from this video particularly. Because, yeah, if anyone doesn't remember the name of Hxnnah, or, well, Hannah, but I keep saying Hxnnah because it's funny. Yeah, last time we talked about this channel actually was what actually I think we might talk about it twice because there's I look up on my channel and it's, the name appears as in two separate videos. I think because one of them I was supposed to react to a Hxnnah video, but we didn't actually, and then another one was because that was the Star something Christmas video that we watched. I think like the day before the Jacobs nominations had to be decided, and it was quite actually the last minute entry, and ended up getting several nominations for the Jacobs last year, which does show, you know, you don't have to, you know, upload in January or something was like to be considered during that time. If you surprise us last minute, you surprise us last minute. So to be honest, I was really really excited about this because I was scrolling through yesterday. I was on call with Emily and Aiden. And actually, when I was with Emily, sorry, Aiden had left by this point. I was busy setting up the stream. We were just mid conversation. Emily and I go into podcast mode a lot of the time, so just, you know, mid just talking about random stuff, you know, recollections, prevalence, or whatever. And while that was going on, I happened to search up something, and I can end up with, like, you know, recommended results, and one video from Hxnnah, which was 7 hours old at the time, and that was this one. So I thought, oh, hey, you know, this was actually, you know, that, like, I remember having, you know, positive recollection from this channel. So let's see what's going on there, and you know, would be good to use a little bit of that you know, that initial like impetus. Thing is, I did say that I was going to react to Bunny Wunny Tales on that particular day because you know, today was the singing battle on Alpha Sisters, and I wanted to be prepared for that in order to help T1 get some of those get some votes. Whether or not that worked is up for debate because as were the results of said competition, given that Jessie couldn't, or was I think it was Jessie who couldn't seem to refresh her phone page. But that's another matter. You can go ahead and watch that if you haven't done so already. The VOD is somewhat interesting, and I also observed quite a few things that yeah, I realized, okay, this should not have turned out this particular way, but that's for another time. I actually want to talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video because I have a bit of a proposition, but you know, I'll circle back to that because, of course, the main thing here is that going back to this video, my excitement about it was such until I started reading the comments. So a lot of the comments, which I don't have a screenshot of, unfortunately, say things like, you know, voice acted? Voice acted? We've been blessed. It voice acted. What? OMG, voice acting? I'm so proud of you, Hxannah, for getting this far. All of those are caps lock, by the way. All of those are in all caps. Yeah, voice acted and tweened? Blessed, my goodness. This is a wonderful story. Like, that part's not in caps. It goes like, blessed, my goodness. This is a wonderful story. So, yeah, a lot of them are really excited because, yeah, the last one we watched wasn't voice acted. It's like, okay, all right, fine. So, this GotCuber's like making the next step. Fantastic. That's what we like to see. Until you get to the part where you start to see messages from other people saying things like, I know that AI is easy to use now, but I feel like if you used a real person, it would be much, much better. There's another one that's, completely different stuff. Original videos definitely improve your editing a lot, not gonna lie. The AI voice seems a bit unsettling to me, but I understand why you would use it since it's not easy finding voice actors. I, of course, have a lot to say about that statement, but that's from one of the commenters, so they might not be as clued in, let's say. I hope in the future you'll be able to get some voice actors for your GCMMs. I'm sure many people would appreciate it. Many people would appreciate it, yeah. So that's when I realized, okay, I had to do a little bit of investigative journalism. And so I did, in fact, listen to a little bit of this mini movie, which is why I was able to prepare something for it. I realized there was a huge flaw that that needed to be accounted for. So you'll see what that is once we play the video. Before that point, let's welcome in our first guest, Aiden Best.
Hello, I am AI Aiden. Beep boop. Real Aiden was too busy? I don't know. He was too busy.
Oh my gosh. Welcome, Aiden, to the stream. It is so nice to have you here.
Oh god. AI, do not use AI voice acting. All I'm saying, if you need a voice actor, call me. I'll voice act and stuff. I enjoy that.
It is worth pointing out that Hxnnah has a business email in her descriptions. If given the option, or if people knew the option was open, they very much could have used that as a contact.
And, don't get me wrong, I feel like finding voice actors sometimes can be hard if you need 20 voice actors, but assumably if you need, 10 voice actors, it's not that hard.
If you need 20 voice actors, also call us. The amount of times we have voiced almost an entire cast of people.
Yeah, but I can see someone's issue being if they had 25 voice actors necessary, but A, there's multicasting roles, and 2, I highly doubt this video has 20 different characters or 20 different unique voices necessary.
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, the video is 10 minutes long exactly. So
yeah, I highly doubt you just stuff 20 different people in there. I mean, I guess you could try if everyone is one line, but
or if it's like a crowd or something. But normally for crowd recordings, they don't tend to specify how many people per crowd you actually want. So, I don't know. Also, I can't see my camera being laggy. I don't know if that's
I mean, you seem fine to me personally.
Yeah, I was on a call with my parents earlier today, and they seemed to they were complimenting the camera, even though it's the same one I've used normally. So I don't know.
Wow.
I guess it's working better, which is great because the Alpha Sisters channel, didn't show my audio in the best light. So I'm glad the video is working for most people. But okay, most people, I guess it's something from time to time. Okay, I'll close down some stuff and I'll see what's going on there. In the meantime, I'll welcome Dito in and I'll import the image that Ghost Kitty has provided for me today.
Hello.
Hello.
Interesting profile that you have there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting face.
It certainly is. You know what's also an interesting face? This monstrosity.
Hey, it's Dean from Supernatural. After when he had the Mark of Cain, and then he died with the Mark of Cain, and then became a demon temporarily until he got resurrected.
We were talking about Demon Dean because KW brought it up, and then I think that was the first image that I looked up, and it was like, that is not a flattering image for what you're trying to convey to us at this particular moment.
I mean, Dean was a demon for 3 episodes. He wasn't even a demon for long. I'm gonna be honest. He wasn't a demon for long.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'll say this. Remember, this is KW talking about the duration of his demon status was not what was in question. Let's put it that way. I think we know what KW appreciates about Demon Dean. I haven't either, but even from my perspective, I know exactly why KW was so keen. In fact, there is another image. I did find another image that is, well, someone else sent it, that is more flattering. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
If you showed me this, if you showed me this, I would understand. Yeah,
like
if you showed me this, I wouldn't.
She showed the image after he died and then came back to life as a demon. That's where that image is from. That's the scene that's from.
Oh yeah, no one has a flattering.
It's not really from the most.
Yeah,
it's not really from the most flattering time period for him at the moment. He wasn't even a demon for long.
Also, yeah, I saw the lag spike there as well. I saw it this time. So yeah, there's definitely something going with my camera. I will endeavor to fix that, but I don't promise anything. There is one major fix that I have applied for today, but again, we'll get to that when we actually play the video in question. For now, there was one thing else that I've got to show you. This is what Ghost Kitty sent to me.
They took our germs! They took our germs!
They took our job!
They took our germs!
I feel like, yeah, this is, yeah, perfect. Absolutely. No notes.
I thought I was safe in this field of employment.
Apparently not.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the AI, despite the AI isn't even good though. That's the worst part. They'll replace this with AI. It's not even good AI. It's terrible AI. It's awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna replace me, at least replace me with good AI, not bad AI. God.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Okay,
I mean, it definitely helps the frame of reference when it came to auditioning for Shadi, but I auditioned for Shadi precisely so that I would end up replacing the AI.
Want to hear a funny story?
What?
Go ahead. Yeah, because I'm still testing things.
So a bit ago, I was at this thing my brother's school holds, where you can win prizes, and I won like a fake plastic toy ring and said out loud, "I'm a pop now."
Oh God.
Ooh, okay. You're getting indoctrinated.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't you mean impopturnated?
The apotheosis is upon him.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Okay.
also working on my own pop series now.
Yeah. How'd that work for me? Was your Shadi? It worked better for me than it did for you, but you know, we've obviously talked about that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'll say this, it's worth it for just so he will stop using AI. You know, if there's one less AI bro in the world, you know, better overall, I think. So yeah, I guess with that in mind, if that in mind, speaking of AI bros, let's go ahead and look at a video by an AI cis. I think I'm not sure what Hxnnah's pronouns are. Cis? So yes, not as catchy, but possibly more accurate. I don't know. So yeah, here we go. This is the elites, I guess. I forgot to describe what the video is actually about, but now I've closed down the tab when I was playing it. So I guess
it's about the elite, the ruling class, the rich people. That's what it's about.
The Northbrook icons. I mean the Mean Girls. I mean the Heathers. I mean high school people. Nothing. Never seen this before. Anyway, continuing. All right, here we go. You're gonna see the problem right away.
Is this AI? Is this AI art? Is this AI art?
No. This, to my knowledge, is just, you know, I've seen this image before. This is like Hxnnah's like normal intro. So this could have been AI art, but I'm pretty sure this was like either commissioned or drawn by the creator. I've not checked, but we'll see.
It's like the video itself is high quality, and then it's just ruined by AI voice acting.
I know, right? Yeah, that is very possible. I only watched enough to like check and confirm for myself that the voice was AI. It is, so I don't want to be guided by the comments and be like,
did you hear the TikTok AI voice girl? Did you hear the TikTok AI voice girl? Is she here?
No, I just did that.
Her voice is so dumb, but I love it for no reason.
We all love the TikTok voice girl. Her voice is amazing. Yeah. To answer this question, by the way,
is amazing.
The series. Yeah, it wasn't a series. It was another mini movie. It was A Christmas Star. It was the one where they basically have like a couple of different Christmases and they were connected in some way. That was like one they did right at the end. that yeah, I can't remember if it actually won any awards, but it was definitely nominated for several of them. So yeah, which does go to show again. It doesn't matter what upload date you've got, so as long as you're in the year, you're gonna be you're gonna qualify in the you're gonna be eligible to qualify. Yes, yeah, I exactly. I too remember that one, and I was like, okay, I definitely recognize the name.
No. Bon remembers that once. He remembers that once. Not that one. That once.
Okie dokie. All right then.
Bon, you deserve all the awards. I love your animations. Get compliment bombed.
No. You want to compliment Bon. What you have to do is that's a tongue twister. Bon. No, but yeah, if you want to compliment Bon, just have to compare his work to the Music Freaks. Works every time.
Yeah. Bon, your animation is as good as the Music Freaks.
Bon, I reckon your animation is
better. You have better lighting than the Music Freaks.
Your stories are better composed than a couple of instances of Music Freaks. Not necessarily all of them, but quite a few of them.
Well, definitely better than episode 5, but that is a very low bar. I don't like it.
For example,
I don't like that episode. God.
I wasn't even thinking of just episode 5, but episode 5 is where most of the problems seem to emerge. Just for most people, they must be a little bit sooner, but yes, in general, that is the biggest example. Anyway, okay, so here we go. Here is the we've got a few social media links and such. Thanks for watching, etc., etc. Time taken 3 weeks because that obviously matters so much to everyone. Okay,
Music Girl episode. Time taken 1 year.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, yeah, Hxannah, exactly. Yeah, if I did that, I haven't even kept track of when I started that. Anyway, if you think about it, we wrote all of season 3 several years ago. So time taken was going to keep increasing if we went with the scripting
Time taken 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I should do that for the next compilation I do. Time taken for Cotland. Just include all of the compilations again. No, okay, but actually, here's the actual description here. So story teaser. Leah Quinn thought getting into Belgrave was the hard part. Oh wait, nope, sorry, I've read this accurately. Leah Quinn thought getting into Belgrave was the hard part. A full scholarship, top of her class. But in a world where power is passed down, not earned, the higher you rise, ... the clearer you see cracks beneath the glamour. She came to Belgrave chasing a future. Now, she's rewriting the rules. There you go.
We love the TikTok voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okie dokie. So that's what we're dealing in right now. Yeah. Nick was the one to know about Christmas stuff. Easiest storyline to follow. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Despite all the AI jokes making right now, the storyline may still be intact. If this is somebody who's writing me praise in the past, maybe this is the one faltering area. That's what I'm hoping right now. I'm still gonna make fun of this like sick.
If you can't get voice actors, just don't have AI voice actors. Just don't have no voices. We don't need voices.
It wasn't if that wasn't best voice acting. I think that from the comments, it seems like this is the first voice acting project that Hxnnah has done. So yeah, but rest assured, this will not be nominated for best voice acting this year for the Jacobs. I can tell you that even before going into it.
No, definitely. I think the AI voice acting was going to give us a run for our money, Jacob.
See, even a human imitation of an AI voice is better than an AI imitation of a human. That should say something. Let that message sink in, people.
Oh, God.
Let that sink in.
Anyways, without further ado, on with the review. Oh god, it's copyrighted.
This only lasts for a few seconds. There we go.
Yeah. Students at Belgrave Academy. The rich?
Okay, hold on a second. There is one issue with this audio that I had that is only going to be apparent to headphone users and only if I put the volume up. So I'm going to put the volume up a little bit, and then it'll become apparent.
The ruthless and me.
There's a murderer. There's a murderer in the skull. Jacob, there's been a murder. There's been a Okay, oh my god.
Okay,
Bro,
there's also
this-
there's also a murderer. Okay, actually, it doesn't seem too bad right now. Actually, so the issue that I had when I like reviewed this on YouTube itself is that the audio of the voice specifically was only coming in through this ear. So for some reason, the AI voice, I'm guessing what happened was the AI audio was exported in mono, and then the rest of the video was done in stereo, and that's why
Wait,
it didn't.
the AI,
it
the
didn't
AI got
correlate.
mono?
I mean,
The AI got mono?
that.
Oh no.
Yes, and the audio was
Mon-
better in stereo. Yeah, exactly.
You,
So
you
that was
asked
the issue.
Aiden not to scream
It doesn't
into
seem
the
to be
mic.
that.
Not me.
Yeah. I'll play a little bit more, see if it actually becomes more apparent now. I'll put headphones on. Let's see.
Full scholarship, zero legacy.
Oh wow. Okay, I turned the Oh. Okay, I turned the volume up, but it took a while to load in. That's just my internet happening. That's my
Okay,
internet.
so I will
This
say
is
a few
so
things
lit.
off the bat. I mean, obviously, AI voice acting. It's not that atrocious right now, but ill. Anyways, but I will say I do like the plaid skirts on the girls. I think the plaid skirts are a cool custom thing that they did. I think it looks really nice aesthetically.
All right.
I wish it was an actual gacha, because a plaid pattern actual gacha would be cool. We don't really have a proper plaid pattern in gacha.
No. Although I believe we're getting several in Chimation, but yeah, not for right now.
The hair for the most, the designs for the most part are decent, except for the fact that this girl has white dots in her hair. That's a little bit weird, and I don't like the noses. I don't like the way the noses are represented, because it's like a little white smudge for some reason.
Yeah, we've seen this before. The white smudge is weirdly like it's reversed for the guy character in the background.
I feel like the white smudge is also too far away from where the nose should be. So
yes,
like,
that is also true.
It's,
I've seen
it's
the
like
smudge
bordering on the
before.
cheek. Bordering
Yeah,
on
I've seen it before. I'm not a fan of the style personally, but I've seen it done previously. What I haven't seen done is having the girls have the smudge like they're facing upwards and the guy facing down. That's also.
The smudge is all about your gender, and it's all about your gender is where the smudge is, how the smudge looks in this world.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's one thing that I've never understood is why shirts intended for men versus shirts intended for women will have the buttons on different sides.
Oh boy.
Like potentially one is more mechanically sound, but if that's the case, why not just make the more mechanically sound one?
You gotta make it difficult for the opposite sex. Whatever sex has it easier, you gotta make it difficult for the opposite one. And with the buttons. For no reason.
I guess it's time to see AI.
What?
I guess it's time to see AI voice acting.
Well, you don't see voice acting.
Are you like 5 minutes behind me? We're not talking about that a second ago.
I might be.
What?
Yeah, probably. I mean, as it happens, you're right. We kind of came to the end of that conversation, but that was a very bizarre interruption from you there. But yeah, for the chat, it kind of makes sense coming. That this only just came through now. So, but yeah, like that's the general consensus. Okay, that's that. So what happened was I actually because Bon asked me before, was the process certificates downloaded? Actually, no, because I checked the download in Vegas and Audacity, and the waveforms were different for mono and stereo. So what I actually did was I then went in and I made a fixed version, which I was going to switch over to. That's this one, by the way.
There are 3 kinds of students at Belgrade.
But I guess it's identical in this case, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I guess we'll I guess we'll just we'll use this version and pretend that it was that it made a difference.
Brave Academy. The rich, the ruthless, and
the murderers.
Hi.
Apparently, there are just flat out murderers here. This is great.
Yeah.
Normally, and when people talk about people being ruthless in a school situation, it's like they're a bully, or they're just really aggressive, or I don't know, they have like social power. normally it's not like full on murder. It's like, oh yeah, we have the ruthless people at our school. You know, the people who
I like
kill
how
the
also
student body
the
casually. Don't mind them.
yeah.
The people
Also,
who
I guess
show
you can't be. Yeah, you can't be both rich and ruthless as well. You know, those are two opposite things, obviously.
Obviously, you know, yeah, definitely.
Ruthlessness is power if you've no wealth. You know.
No wealth.
So I guess there's that. All right.
I'm Lena Quinn, full scholarship, zero legacy, and the only one here who didn't get a Range Rover for their 16th birthday. Belgrade.
Range Rover must be like really happy as a company with Belgrave Academy, particularly. That's the only car brand that they could possibly think of in order to.
Girl, don't hand
present.
your credit card around. Don't hand your
She
credit
might
card.
she might just be lending it to someone
Don't
or showing it
your
off.
credit card without you being.
Or maybe that's sort of like a
person.
student ID.
I hope that's a student idea. Do not hand someone your credit card. That's an awful idea. Here's my credit card. Don't spend too much.
That is.
Don't get my family into debt.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your family aren't all on the same credit. Anyway.
It isn't just a school. It's a kingdom. And trust me, high school royalty is real. Except instead of crowns, they wear Cartier, and their
This really just gives me Mean Girls vibes, and like instead of like the jungle analogy that they have throughout the movie, it's a royalty analogy. It's the same basic principle.
I swear. Like,
Also, by the way, I have an unflattering.
Sorry, Aiden, continue, but I'm going to say after you finish, continue.
I have an unflattering comparison here. The way this video is styled reminds me of My Story anime. And that's not a flattering. That's not a flattering comparison. I don't like them.
Okay. To be fair to My Story Animated, they have improved massively since their inception. Like they went through a period where they were definitely clowned upon for obvious reasons, but then eventually they really stepped up their production. But yeah, like old My Story Animated for sure. There was that one episode we watched where of like the two twins that got separated, but then they like also. They swapped brains at one point, so they wanted to end up with the other one's life, and that's how they reunited. That was structured like a My Story Animated episode, and that was, that was not one of those where it was like, I mean, it had the same plot holes and issues as a My Story Animated thing, but it was at least like a decent enough idea behind it.
Also, by the way, real people in the background.
That was what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. This is definitely a stock image.
You can redo that in Gacha Club or Gacha Life too. I'm pretty sure there's a setting that if you turn to 100%, the character is just pitch black.
Yes, there is, but also these aren't actually just the silhouettes; they're just wearing black because you can see their hands. What they could have done is like absolutely just have a bunch of extras for paparazzi and just have them take pictures. Even with like phones or something, that would have technically worked in this context. And you can apply the flash effect as well.
People look so good compared right next to a Gacha character, obviously. So
maybe it was for that. Maybe it was for the flash effect. Maybe Hxnnah doesn't know how to do the flash effect, but I remember the lighting being quite decent in A Christmas Star, so I would assume that was pretty good. I'm pretty sure recently MSA has been using AI. That also I could probably, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that. I haven't heard it personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were true. I think they're also Russian owned. So I think the problem is that they need to hire actors who spoke both Russian and English in order to pull that off, and that was possibly limiting their options. I don't know. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
Followers, family fortunes, and secrets. Big
ones.
Anime.
Okay, I can't. Yeah. I can't complain about anime stock footage because I've used that as well. That'd be hypocritical. So,
okay, but you haven't used anime people stock footage.
No, I deliberately avoid people, and
they use actual people, like actual human hands handling money. Like, look at these Gacha stubs. These aren't hands. These are different. These are little round things. They don't look like normal human hands.
Yeah. I mean, I originally got inspired to use anime stock footage because of Midori Stories, but Midori Stories, even if there was stock footage, would actually put Gacha characters in the middle of those environments to solidify that it was, that was the particular style. That's why I always avoided people. But yeah.
The vests say it all.
I like the
Blue
background.
means scholarship. Background noise. Purple? That's new money. And red is for them.
The Heathers! Heath!
Yeah.
God.
The
The
elite,
elites.
kind of like
That's Blair.
clashing with the elite.
Well, I guess because new money versus old money, there is like a difference in terms of how they're perceived, or even like amongst each other, I guess. Because actually, that's one thing that apparently I heard is that in Romeo and Juliet, the Capulets are new money. I haven't verified that, but that's what one of my old drama teachers said.
Also, one thing I find kind of weird though is okay. So you have blue, purple, and then red. I feel like they should have stuck with like cool colors or colors that gave like cool vibes, because like red
Why?
is like a hot color. I don't know. You have two cool colors versus one hot color.
Red and blue.
I don't know. I've heard.
Red
I've
and
heard
blue. Make purple.
Red and blue are a very common pairing, especially in flags.
yeah, but you also have purple now thrown into the mix, which kind of
Which
What
is
do you get?
which is the middle
Yeah.
point between red and exactly. Thank you.
Then
Tisa.
what it-
That's what I
Oh
could say.
yeah, actually, I just realized that because I thought I don't know. Listen, cool
Yeah.
colors are cool, but
By the
also
way,
I don't.
someone sang this today in the singing battle, Alpha Sisters.
Oh, Candy! I love that song from the Heather. Did you know the Heathers is
Welcome
going
to my
to
candy
New York City? Okay, it's going to New York
Why
City.
would I know that, and why would I care about that?
I feel like I've mentioned this a few times, and I'm gonna find a way to go to New York. I mean, it's technically not that far away. I mean, it's kind of far away. It's like 10
It is
hours.
decently far away from. Yeah, I was gonna say it's decently far away from you.
But listen, I need to find a way to go see Heathers the musical live. I'm excited. I like the Heathers. Heather, Heather, Heather.
I've
What's
got
the
a
Heathers?
bone to pick with you, little human. Bone to pick with you, little human being. You've
Bone.
seen where I've been, and I don't like it. I've got a bow to shoot at you, little. Okay, sorry, Karen. That's a good theme for for a singing battle. Honestly, Minecraft songs.
We love Minecraft parodies.
Absolutely, that was not even a Minecraft parody. That's straight up a Minecraft original song. But yes,
Oh, really?
songs or
Dang.
parodies in general. Yeah. Okay, so this is decently like into the video to actually mention this. So because of my experience now with Alpha Sisters, the singing battle itself, I just enjoy like preparing for that. I've noticed a lot of issues with their preparation for it and the things that I could very easily fix. So I'm thinking of like bringing back an old segment I used to do on this channel a long time ago. The last time was in 2018, actually, called Mayhem Sing Off, where it's a singing competition. It's mainly like judged based on like the comedic value rather than vocal performance itself, although that does come into it occasionally. And yeah, I guess like I like how Alpha do themes. So yeah, maybe the first one will be Minecraft themed, potentially original songs, parodies, songs from my passion, potentially. Maybe.
Oh my!
You know, I'm just saying if I were to sing a song from my passion, it would have to be the stalking song from that one girl. I forget her name.
Oh yeah, you mean the pay attention to me.
I don't know. That song's so dumb, but I love it.
Oh, Ghosty loves it as well. I think that's her favorite one. My part's favorite one is the mosquito one. Everyone's a star. Followed closely up by It's Halloween Night, but yeah. I'm doing the mosquito. See, now you're excited about this. I told you about this in DMs, and like now you're excited. Yeah, there you go.
Listen, pay attention to me. Oh God.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, if people are intrigued by that, then I will. We'll talk about that, and we'll lock in a stream on some day. Yeah.
Anyways, let's look at the discount Heather / discount plastic / discount.
Yeah. I'm getting definitely getting
Sharpay.
Yeah.
Discount
Yeah,
Sharpay from High School Musical.
I guess. I mean, she's standing next to Ryan, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but who's
Queen
the
of
third?
Belgrade.
There's no Trinity in Which honestly,
I have no
looking back at High School Musical, I'm surprised Sharpay and Araya didn't have like a third person to their group. I'm
Or
honestly
several other people. If they're meant to be popular, you would think they would have like not just one extra person, but several others.
I'm honestly surprised there wasn't more of a group in High School Musical. It was just the two of them, which is like kind of strange.
Just
looking back
the
at it,
two of us.
especially for a time period.
Yeah, if you think about it, Gabrielle had more friends than Sharpay did, which is not how it's supposed to come across. But anyway.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. I want to spend some time with you.
Oh, also, by
guess
the
that
way,
does match with them.
the girl on the right, I don't like the way her hair, her front hair is layered versus the butterfly hair clip. I feel like the butterfly hair clip should be a layer above her front hair. I don't really
That's
like
just how
the
she
way
likes
that
it.
looks.
Your hair. The butterfly clip is there in front of your hair. Or it should be. All right.
Next to her is Luca Astor and her minion Blair Rockefeller. You're probably
Wait, hold on a second. Wait. Go back. Blair. Okay, so hold on a second. Her name is Blair.
next to her is Luca Astor and her minion Blair Rockefeller.
Okay, so bear in mind we have Blair Rockefeller, we have Luca Astor, fine, sure. Her name, remember, was Blair Devereaux. So we very nearly had a Heathers comparison there because two of them are called Blair.
Blair, and
Luca.
Blair.
Oh God.
You're probably wondering why someone like me would even want to stay here. Simple.
Because you could get a good education.
I was in the area and my parents forced me to, as is the case with most people going to school. Anyway.
Belgrave graduates don't just go to college. They go anywhere they want. This school is a golden ticket. And I plan to use this golden ticket to become a top businesswoman. And with only 1 year left,
What's your business idea? I want to hear your business.
I had one
So-
goal. Keep my head down.
So this school is kind of like the school from the classroom of the elite.
What?
I guess. I mean, this is called the Elites. I don't know enough about that. Can you describe the classroom of the Elites a little bit? Not that it's probably...
Basically, the main character goes to a school where there's 4 classes that you can rank up to, and if you graduate at the top of it, you can basically become whatever you want.
Okay, well, we haven't heard necessarily that that they need to rank above each other just yet. They probably do, to be honest. But yeah, for now, it just seems to be the case that if you do graduate in general, that opens up doors, which is how a lot of schools work, absolutely. But yeah, it also makes me think that this probably should have been a university, to be honest. I guess you wouldn't have the uniform in most cases in that situation, so that would have been a design issue. But
everything's got to be in high school. Everything's in high
I guess, yeah.
school.
I guess it's you're far less likely to find these kind of like social groups in university than you would be in a high school. But I just mean in terms of like if her goal is like if she's looking at that particular step. Because otherwise, you would be normally in this situation, be like, okay, there's like a feeder school for insert name of university here or something. And that's like the next step before becoming a businesswoman. Normally they have that. Oh, hey, Ghosty, we were just talking about you before.
So, but by the way, this is basically discount Katie from Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
This is
Yeah,
discount
I mean,
Katie. She just wants to keep
Because-
her head down. She's trying to live her life, and then she's gonna get picked up by the popular girls and probably become a mean girl and overthrow the school or something. I don't know. Whatever. Down with the school.
Yes, absolutely. And on the subject of Mean Girls, get on the road, rich nerd.
Oh gosh, she's gonna get isekai. No.
Have the truck from every single isekai anime just speed blitz them, and then the story becomes completely different.
No wait, she gets isekai, and then her voice is no longer AI. in the isekai world,
Wait.
her voice becomes normal.
Wait, can you imagine there's like a fan fiction somewhere of like Regina George if like after she got hit by the bus, she got isekai'd and had to like and there's like a popular girl inside of like this different world that like has nothing to do with her. And it's like, oh wait, I actually do have to legitimately fight to be at the top in this world rather than metaphorically. Oh no.
Oh no.
It would also be really funny to try to like have a like in a like a high fantasy like adventure squad making a playbook of the different enemies or something, as if that would be a problem.
Okay, this is what I'm calling the burn book. We're gonna write down everything mean and bad about our enemies in it. Like, what's that gonna accomplish?
No, it's just like
A
the
lot.
wizard's like, ah yes, a burn book. All the fiery incantations are mine to command. Let's see what the first spell is. It is Odalia the Goblin. Then was like, Odalia the Goblin is pregnant. Wait, what?
What?
Hold on a second. Latisse the Centaur had a hoof transplant. Is that really necessary? Do we need to know this?
Also, I like to point
You need to know your enemies properly.
I'd like to point out that we're 46 minutes into the stream and we haven't even finished the introduction.
This is not uncommon for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. We probably should continue.
Down and stay unnoticed. But apparently, the universe had other plans.
No more anime!
Okay,
Oh.
wait a second. No. I got
That
a
hard
question.
cut. That
What-
hard cut.
I know this is tweening and whatnot, but for crying out loud, if you're gonna have someone bump into somebody else, the least you could do is have them move. It doesn't look like they're like even anywhere near each other, and all our books fell forwards into the gap that they would have needed to collide in the first place.
Like,
You
the
okay?
guy should stumble back at least a little bit.
Wait.
Is it just one voice throughout?
Wait. What?
Okay, I didn't know that was gonna happen. But
What? What do you mean?
Sorry. I wasn't looking. These are hard subjects.
No, it is the same. What? Wow, his voice acting, Jacob, so great! So great!
Oh my gosh, voice acted? Oh golly, hello, welcome back to my voice acted video. I am Purple Shep.
Welcome back to my voice acted video. I am Dito. Today, we are going to be doing a video about school. Talking.
Yo, what is up, my prankster gangsters? It's your boy Pink Sheep, today back with another video of how I became the top of the elites of this school. Belgrave Academy is mine to command because I am the best.
God, how young
Hey
are the
guys.
commenters,
Hey
by
guys.
the way?
I'm a meme
Because, I
streamer.
am very concerned they are, still in their mom's wombs, based off, are they still in the mom womb,
I like to imagine in universe.
When are they
going
going
to
to be born? I'm just asking. It's a very important question for these commenters.
I don't know. By the way, Ghosty is here and I forgot to scroll down because I've got too many things open. So sorry about that, Ghosty.
Hello, it is I, Purple Chef.
Hello, Ghosty!
What?
Welcome to the video.
Like, I'm just here for a moment to say something. It's that I thought by getting rid of voice actors in a capacity that they'd level up their content in other values to compensate. No.
They haven't gotten rid of voice actors, they just didn't use them ever before. This is the first voice acted project that, to my knowledge, that Hxnnah has done.
Well, you can't really call this voice acting
in
since
quote-
no
in
one is
quotation
actually
marks.
doing the acting. It's
Quotation
more or less
marks.
AI slop.
Yeah, so yeah, in the description it does just say, it does say voice over, which a lot of time does qualify, but the title, as of right now, says voice acted.
No. Also, I'd like to
No,
point
indeed.
out that the uniforms of the main characters are different than the extras.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the
that's
ties are
intentional.
meant to be different. Yeah, the ties are supposed to be different, apparently, but not the.
No, the base uniform's meant to be different.
yeah.
The ties
Oh
are.
yeah, because that's right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
so-
this is
I wanna
Luca. This is not Blair. This is not Blair from the Blairs. So,
okay,
yeah.
and also Ghosty, the people in the background actually have purple. They picked, in my
Yes, I
opinion,
know
a
they
very,
have
a
to-
very, a very
Aiden?
bad.
Aiden,
No, yeah.
stop. I know they have purple, but she is clearly wearing blue and he is wearing red.
Yeah.
AKA not the uniform color.
No, the lore is blue is for like scholarship. Purple is for new money. Red is for old money.
Or
I
the
hate
elite,
that.
which is the
Good,
synonym,
they've
yeah.
created a
But yeah,
classist
no,
system
but like what
inside of this high school.
one issue I have.
And
Oh,
now you're getting the
this-
theme of the video.
What
Okay,
issue I
now
especially
that
have
I've
with
gotten now that I've gotten the theme of the video, I'm gone. I hate this new money, old money garbage. This is what took me out of the Great Gatsby, for fuck's sake.
I don't
Bye.
know, the Great Gatsby's awful. Anyways, but what I don't-
The Great Gatsby is awful, but you know another story that has classist undertones that is that Ghosty has recommended personally, or in High School Host Club. That's all I'm saying. You
But,
know, this
like-
concept can be done effectively, but not
So,
but most likely not here.
I think an issue as well, in my opinion, with the purple versus blue uniforms is I feel like the blue and purple aren't that different. Unfortunately, the blue and purple are very similar shades. Like I kind of wish
Yeah, they are.
I kind of wish the blue was either slightly more distinct or the purple was slightly more distinct. It would at least help a little bit. Like you can still tell, but it's like they're not very distinct shades of blue and purple. They're very similar. They kind of bleed
Struggling
into
in
each other.
calculus.
Yeah.
I'm Luca. Luca, you're late.
Is that
I'm
the-
Luca.
Luca, you're late.
Who's this? I thought this was the part where she'd insult me or pretend I didn't exist. But instead, she smiled.
Yeah, definitely Mean Girls rather than with a touch of Heathers.
You're Lena, right? Scholarship girl with a near perfect GPA?
Which is something that most students are very attentive to. Other students' GPAs.
Oh God, your camera! Oh, your camera! Emily, you're here! Hi, Emily. How are you doing? How's final break going? Oh, Zane!
Hello, everyone. Zane is doing in here. This is all doing fine. Don't worry. Okay, fine. I'll go.
Thank God you're back!
Like-
Where'd you go? Emily came and then immediately left, and then Zane came, and then also immediately left after speaking like 2 sentences.
Yep. All right. Moving on.
I'm having a birthday thing Saturday. Private. You should come. Wear red. It suits you.
Wear red like the elites.
Like,
Hey, well, you know, see, here's the thing.
wait,
That's
question.
not what.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you want me to wear a red suit like you guys, or do you want me to just wear something that's red? Like a red t-shirt,
They said
a red
wear
dress?
red. I think the implication is wear something fancy that is red, rather
God,
than
this
the
is just
school
the Heathers.
uniform.
Not Heathers.
They don't wear the
This is-
school uniform to parties, Aiden.
I don't
That's not a thing anyone has
know.
ever done.
I'll show up in my Clifford the Red Dog slippers.
I
That
mean,
would
you know,
technically
that is wearing red, you know. I mean, if we're going by like St. Patrick's Day rules, you
That's
know.
that's their fault for not specifying, but it's ridiculous to assume they were so in the uniform.
Okay, but okay. So why is this just me?
Hey, look, you know, look, you know, at least not wearing pink. They only do that on Wednesdays.
That was
Oh,
rare.
sorry.
You don't have to come if you don't want to.
Wait, when you say that was rare, do you mean it was rare that you said that, or it was weird? That's another question.
Yeah.
Said no.
That's a Gacha review callback for all of those who've been around for years.
Also, okay,
I knew
so
they
also here's the unfortunate thing about when it comes to the fact that they're only using one AI voice and not differentiating between characters. You can't watch like the cool thing about voice acting stuff is technically speaking, you can close your eyes. You can close your eyes for periods of voice acting thing and still know who's speaking if the voices are distinct enough. If you close your eyes, you don't know who's speaking. You're like, oh, that's the main protagonist. No, wait, never mind. That's Head Mean Girl. Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Oops.
You know,
Like,
there is actually an upcoming project where I'm voicing 2 characters that have the same voice, and I don't mean the same voice as in like just that they're both done by me. No, I mean like they literally speak the same way as each other. So the way And when they have a conversation, the way that I differentiate between them actually is that I actually balance the audio a little bit differently. So one of them in a different part of the room is positioned so they like speak towards a little bit towards the left and a little bit towards the right, and a slight difference in like how their how their tone is portrayed. But like, yeah, aside from that, you know, like even again, small differences that an AI would not give you because unless you and then clearly Hxnnah cannot balance this audio because they don't know the difference between mono and stereo. So, you know, we're not in that territory just yet.
We're not in good
The wrong
hands.
crowd to hang out with. But I didn't. These were the elites. But in a place like Belgrade.
Why do we need that skirt shots? What was that in aid of? This is,
Well,
this is anime now.
obviously, it's because the Gacha character is so attractive. Obviously, you know, we just have to show off the skirt.
Why do you have to
like,
show off the skirt of a minor?
We gotta have that anime fan service, I guess.
Exactly, we need the fan service,
Brave.
Jacob.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah, speaking of Orange High School Host Club.
what like what kind of how are you supposed to get value from this video if you're not getting fan service? You get no value if there's no fan
Why
service.
from the fantastic performer, from the writing, from the story
Through the power of fan service.
If there is fan
through the
service,
tweening.
if there is fan service, I'd prefer to at least be someone at least of age.
Yes, that was
Not a high
implied.
school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With the anomalies to add their mimicry, they speak with the same voice as their hosts, and hosts normally speak to each other frequently, would complicate things. Yeah, so you know, it's like, I mean, it's obviously like position wise, but even with the eyes closed, you should be able to notice a difference. And it's also good practice. I guess anyone is thinking of doing that. Don't do like the full ears, because again, if you watch this video on YouTube with headphones, you will only hear the AI voice through one ear. That's what will happen. But the way to do it normally, actually, this is like where I like cite one of my favorite editors again, Hxannah. For Dragon Ball Z Abridged, there is a running gag where Piccolo, instead of like absorbing like Nail and Kami and just fusing with them they've never heard of again, they stay in his head. But what happens is as soon as the pair of them are in there, they're actually balanced so there's like Nail's on one side of Piccolo's head and Kami's on the other. And then, but they're not like fully. I think Hxannah said it was either like 90-10 because that's extreme, or it might have been like 70-30. I don't remember which one he actually said, but either way, don't go the full percentage. Have something for both ears because otherwise it's very disconcerting for someone, especially when they're wearing headphones.
Attention doesn't come without a cost. One thing's for sure. No one throws a party in heels and champagne like the rich. The dress wasn't me.
Champagne on a dance floor? Good luck.
But maybe that was
I
the
mean,
point.
that's
how
not
you're
really a dress,
drinking.
though. I mean, that's a blazer with a skirt, but you know.
Yeah. Also, the old thing was wear red. They didn't pick out your outfit for you.
I don't like the color red. The color red isn't me.
I mean, the theme here is that it's fully general hologram.
I'm a blue girl, not a red girl.
Uh-huh.
Would underage drinking technically
Wow.
count as a red flag?
No.
No.
Wow.
I'd say it's too commonplace to count, and like it's a thing that obviously would happen in this scenario.
You look great.
Not saying it should, but I'm saying it would.
Oh god, she's gonna
Don't get
fall in
used
love
to
with
it.
him.
Why'd you really come tonight?
I want
Is
the
this where
cops
you
to
warned
bust
me?
this party. It would be funny.
People like me don't belong in your world.
I mean, if there's a place to warn her of that, it would not have been at the party she was invited to. It would
Yeah,
have
don't
been
worry,
when
I'll
they
warn
bumped into
you
each
at
other.
the party. I'll warn you at the
Yeah.
party.
Overstimulating. I would call it understimulating personally, but to each their own.
I mean, yeah, it's not really that stimulating. I mean, God. You know what's great about voice actors?
And look, as long as it's not a sci-fi party, wearing a red shirt is fine. If I wear this at a sci-fi party, I'll die first. But you know.
God, but what I also miss about regular voice acting is
speaking
like
of
the
Dragon
the vocal inflections are so nice. Like the vocal inflections is something a human could do, but like vocal inflections like make up so much of voice acting for anything. Like especially the way you deliver a line, like you can make it more comedic,
Yeah.
more serious, less serious, and a vocal inflection could like enhance something. Or technically, a vocal inflection could also unenhance something and make something not as good based off how you do the vocal inflections. But vocal inflections are so good in voice acting, but with AI voice acting, you don't get really any vocal inflections.
Yeah, I do remember. Do you guys remember the first job I had after I left university? You know, for working for Denethor. That was his code name. Yeah. Actually, he actually is like a big he used to send me like all these things all the time, like how excited he was about like different like AI technologies. Some of them, admittedly, were quite interesting. Like there is one that about like moving a person's lips, so in dubs of live action stuff, the lips would actually match. That one, kind of cool, not gonna lie. But other ones were just like, hey, look at this like avatar I've created, and it's like, why are you saying this to me? Like, especially after he had hired me precisely to translate and voice over some stuff. It's like, why? What are you trying to insinuate from this?
Isn't this so great? Yeah, it's almost like I don't need you anymore.
Yeah, so he's excited about that, and from somebody who's like not in like the entertainment industry or has no idea what's going on in terms of that sphere of things. This was, I think, like before or just when the actor strike first started like making waves. So that was like what the time period we're in, basically. But yeah, so for someone who's like unaware of all of that was going down, and is only like said about like business stuff, like yeah, voicing over business things. I'll say, having been on voices.com, half the stuff on there are just, you know, right now our company has this offer and blah 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 blah. Not very interesting. Yeah, so my one hope is if that continues in the world of business, they will leave all the entertainment stuff alone.
Oh, they won't.
We're gonna keep trying. That's the
thing.
They
won't. Yeah. They won't.
They're trying here. They're trying here and failing, but they're trying.
At least they're trying.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Number, this is where I say, maybe you're exactly what this world needs.
No, this is where I say, maybe you're exactly what this world.
Dance with me? I told myself I wouldn't fall for any of their lies.
You know, we don't have to cut back to this shot every time there's narration. You can.
You see, they made this model of the character, and they only have this one background set up, so they have to just keep cutting back to the same background and just using the same model. Obviously.
Okay, I might be speaking to a minority of people here, but has anyone seen The Emperor's New School?
I have heard of The Emperor's New School. I have not seen it though.
Okay, fair enough. I don't.
Seen of it.
Yeah, because I haven't seen Emperor's New Groove, but I don't know if this happens in the movie or not, but maybe it does. But one thing in the TV show, at least, is that Cusco, the main character, has the power to stop the show, and what he does is like it pauses as if pausing a DVD or a VHS, depending on like, you know, your levels of static and stuff. So everyone freezes, but then he appears above the image and like starts to narrate, you know, breaking the fourth wall. That's what they could have done here. They could have paused the image, had this character who was already had to be animated separately from this background, and if you want to loop the animation and save on time, you could just have the same loop, but like over the paused frame, and that would technically count as something a little bit different and transformative.
I like Kronk.
Okay, so he stops the show in the movie as well. Okay, yeah. And also, yeah, for anyone's watching Emperor's New School, Kronk is an Emperor's New School as well. So, you know, don't worry. You'll get.
I need to watch it. I need more Kronk.
You'll get your fair share of Kronk. You know, I've said this before, Dito. Actually, I've called. Speaking of Kronk, actually, I've said that Aiden is like the Patrick Warburton of Gacha voice acting at this point, because like he's everywhere. No. You can tell that it's him, but he's everywhere.
I will be everywhere. My goal is to spread out like a disease, a virus.
Like the plague of Aspen, now on the Butter Bunch.
Yes, the plague of Aspen. Not aspirin, Aspen.
Yeah, another series where another episode in a series where Aiden, you know, voices a bunch of people, because obviously as a DM he's got to do that. But
don't worry, I'll just get the TikTok AI voice girl to do it next. Hello, everybody. Oh god. Hello, everybody. My name is Greg. What's up?
Imagine if that was one of the symptoms.
You become the AI, the TikTok AI girl.
Ghost Kitty, I'm pretty sure Emperor's New Groove had a sequel called Kronk New Groove.
It did, yes. Emperor's New School is the TV show they made after the movie, which was all about Kuzco having to go to school to qualify as emperor.
Hey, Bon, did you know?
Wasn't he already
I'm in your
emperor, though?
walls. I like to like sniff your walls a lot. Inside them, it's
Jacob,
just
is
very
it like
nice
a
place.
prequel to this month? He was already
Yeah,
emperor.
my understanding is yes, because he never confronts Kronk and Hxnnah about schemes and such, and Kronk is often paired up with him. So I think it is before the movie. Yeah.
But Luca wasn't like the others. Or maybe he was just better at pretending. And for one night.
By the way, this is not the music I would have chosen for, like, something along these lines where it's like, I'm having so much doubt right now. It's good party music, but
Oh
yeah.
god, your camera.
My camera's dying as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, another thing about that I don't like about the way the story is told is that it's all told after the fact, and we're not being in the moment of the story because we have exposition, we play a mini scene, we pull out back to exposition, we play a mini scene, and it keeps going that we're not in the moment, and that's what's annoying me. It's like I want to see these moments actually play out and not just be talked about what's going on,
I'm guessing that's what the commenters meant when they said that this was different to other Hxnnah videos. Probably not for the better in this particular case.
So much like My Story anime.
Yeah, there's
what
that.
Oh
God. Now that you point it out, it's so uncanny to me now.
Yeah. That is fair. You know what's uncanny to me right now? I mean, I know that my arms bend weirdly, but look at what hers is doing. Speaking of uncanny, I was going to say something else about this. Oh yes, that at the very least, I will say that one common critique that happens with gacha stuff in general is that if you start with a narrator, that the narrator never actually returns in any capacity. Or the person, if the character's the main character, they will just be in the moment. Like there was no point almost to having the narration in the first place. But so at least in this case, we are keeping that as a recurring device. Possibly too much, but I'll say that much. Again, if it wasn't paired up with the other stuff.
I'm pretty sure a line coming up is supposed to be in like an excited tone. I can't wait to see how the AI tries its best to mimic an exciting tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Owen Wilson enters the chat.
I let myself believe I belonged.
You belong in a hospital with that arm of yours.
Maybe I could have both the dream and the magic.
Oh.
That would be fantastic. You've had no.
Why do you have a spray cam? Why do you have a spray? Are you gonna paint his face?
No. See, she was gonna spray him if he tried something that she didn't want, but then she realized like, oh, he's actually quite nice. Okay, fine, I'll kiss him.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a drink.
Heck yeah! Let's get our drink on. Yeah.
Kiss it in this God's review?
Oh God!
Yeah. Oh God!
Who is
drink
she?
like you have asthma? I guess we'll find out.
I thought we just saw the kiss.
No,
you actually.
No.
I'm guessing it's her. I'm guessing it's the character on the left with with a little bit of lipstick now. Yeah.
Their hair is not pink.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's meant to be the main protagonist.
Offer it ice spray. Yeah. You want some tea? Here, concentrated tea. That's what's in the spray can. There you go.
Remember, Jacob, unconscious people don't want tea.
If I was unconscious, I'd want some tea.
Oh God, you don't get the reference.
No. Although saying it like that is hilarious out of context. Just being like, oh no, call 911. Also, I don't want to get them up.
Wait a minute.
There you go, revived.
Wait a minute. I just realized something, Jacob.
Yes.
This background is suspicious, or parts of the background. Okay, look at the picture. Look at the picture of Venice, and then under it, look at the clothes rack.
It's real close.
That's kind of, I don't know. We're probably gonna need Ghosty to judge that, but it kind of looks like, I kind of think this, at least the middle part of the background, kind of looks AI. Oh wait, I think it is AI. Oh, if you look at if you look at the mirror as well, the mirror has like the mirror has like wrong images. And I think the mirror is meant to reflect the wall, maybe.
Well, okay, the mirror could reflect the wall, but also this could, in fact, be a composite background and just have those different things like layered in and made into and compressed down. So so you're probably right, but just out of like margin of error, benefit of the doubts, I'm not gonna fully declare that's the case.
It's potentially AI, so that's also now a concern I have. Oh god.
I guess one thing to do would be to like zoom in and enhance on the text, because you said that AI is bad at text, so that would be another giveaway.
Yeah, AI is very bad at text. You do not.
Or what if the girl that's like brushing the main character's hair is just a vampire?
Oh well, I wasn't really.
That's a whole other matter altogether. You should get better at segues, Dito.
Anyways, here
Doesn't
now.
help that much.
Oh wait, I forgot. The AI reading this video to us. I was gonna start reading the text like it was a normal video.
That would almost be better. But yeah.
Ship girl. It started small, a borrowed lipstick.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Ghosty agrees with you. So yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Also, do not borrow people's used lipstick. Ew. It's lipstick. Don't borrow lipstick. What do you mean?
No,
hey,
Aiden. Aiden, what were you saying
makeup.
before about mono? What were you saying before about them getting mono?
Listen, I don't use lipstick, but if I wouldn't use someone else's lipstick or even chapstick. Gross, nasty. Touch someone else's lips.
Not ideal, absolutely.
Unless you're into that stuff, don't do it.
Even if you are into that stuff, exercise caution.
That's how you get mono.
Story with me tagged in it.
Okay, here's one thing. Weirdly enough, even though this is a tweened episode, I like this still image a lot more. But only because like you could read so much into like how like one person like posing clearly practiced, the other Blair in the background making a silly face, probably shows she's a bit more carefree than Blair Devereaux potentially. And meanwhile, then you have main character whose name I've forgotten in the center here, Katie, I guess, who is awkward. Who's like smiling, but the same way you would smile like awkwardly in a photo where your parents tell you to smile for the camera. So she's clearly not in the right environment, basically. I mean, even the difference in uniforms as well, still emphasizing that point, even though she's been welcomed in from an outside perspective. So there's a lot you can read into this image, weirdly enough. So yeah, I guess it's interesting how all the progress that Hxnnah is trying to make, and yet it's a simple image like this that gets me. But there you go.
How much you want to bet the girl taking the pictures only friend with the main character to boost her popular?
Why?
Well, she wouldn't.
Why would she prefer to nobody for? Popularity.
The biggest thing that she has right now is, I guess, that she has a perfect GPA apparently, which maybe in this school where they're trying to like get like a golden ticket to like go anywhere they want, maybe they would care about. But I would hazard say that the students probably don't care as much about the academics as their parents might potentially, or maybe because they're seniors now thinking about their future a bit more. Maybe that's why. But
I mean, honestly, it's probably just a prank at this point. Like she's quote unquote befriending her, but just to like, I don't know, to humiliate her. That
would make more sense.
Like I don't. Yeah, I think this is just for fun, for like a mean fun. But I think this is just trying to. I think this is just for mean fun. I don't think she's trying to able to actually gain anything from this.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, Lena. All right. Okay, fair enough. We got the right amount of letters.
Main character doesn't deserve me to call them by their name.
Oh,
All at once,
wait!
I was in.
Wait, you got old money? You got old money? What did you get old money? You weren't even new money. You weren't
That's
even
not how old money works.
You weren't even new money before. How are you old money?
Okay,
What?
so just to backtrack for a second, I know we've been saying old money, but they technically said scholarship, new money, elites. So I kind of like filled in the blanks. It's like, okay, if the new money are not elites and they're excluded, so they're much like the rich and the ruthless are different things, I suppose. Then if that's the case, then it would therefore make sense that the elites are old money. But maybe that is just like a thing that they're supposed to say they made for themselves. But you would think if the school sanctioned this kind of thing, that she would already have been elite with a perfect GPA, so she wouldn't need to do this. But I don't know.
I don't know. I'm confused, Jacob. Help me.
How do you convert USD to shillings? Google.
I told myself it was strategy. That if I wanted my
well,
future...
she changed her uniform, at least in this.
So this is a very deliberate effort to make sure it's the same background.
Wait a minute. No, never mind. I thought her sleeves and body were different colors, but it was just her hand was covering up the lines of the collar.
Oh, gonk, lady. I just saw you change outfits. I'm still on my way to work.
Oh.
You are definitely delayed, Dito.
To stop apologizing for being here.
Yeah.
So, okay, but a problem that is definitely with this is, for one, if this is exposition after the fact, why did her uniform change? Like, just when people normally do that, they don't normally, like, change clothes to represent which part of the story they're having exposition of.
Dramatic effect, of course.
Like, wouldn't she just be wearing the red uniform? If she stays in the red uniform, she'd be wearing the red uniform from the very beginning of the video.
But then you sacrifice the element of surprise. If she were out of uniform, then you would keep the element of surprise.
You know.
And also, and actually, on top of that, you would also figure out what her personal style was. So the whole dress, like not being her, would also make sense. Which now I think about that, that dress we saw before that she was in for the party, she didn't wear the dress when she was narrating that part. So this is also inconsistent for that reason.
Shaking my head.
Jacob's nominee is reduced to this.
Jacob, what did you see in this channel?
A different video. That's what I saw on this channel.
Being wanted. I liked not feeling...
Oh, a new character into the scene.
Invisible.
Oh, okay. Just as a comparison. So yeah, she is very much becoming one of the plastics. Yeah, again. Absolutely.
Despite we don't know anything that she's done mean until probably the scene that we're about to see. But we haven't seen anything mean she's done, or heck, we haven't even seen anything mean the elites have did. I mean, obviously, elitist system isn't a good thing, but we haven't seen the elites or discount plastics do anything awful. So, like, if you go back to Heather's Mean Girls, you see them do mean things, so you know they're mean people. You get
we would need in order to keep with this format, rather like going into like obviously the biggest fix would have been to keep like the same style. But out of like a sense that Hxnnah is clearly experimenting in this format, the way that would have worked is if we had like examples before this point, that we could draw from of how the Blairs like interacted with people.
The Blairs plus what's his name? I don't know.
I'm gonna go now. In my opinion, mid. Pros, nice character designs, nice backgrounds. Cons, keep you using the same character background. And AI, overall without AI, I rated 7 out of 10.
I mean,
with
the
AI,
backgrounds aren't very good because a lot of them are AI, which I don't even know. Which after seeing that one AI background, I'm worried that some of the parts of this background are AI. Like I'm worried, like the sinks and like the stalls. Now I'm getting paranoid. I'm like, oh god, is any of this actually AI? I don't.
Yeah, there's nothing in the description about that. There's also nothing in the description that says this is AI voice, but everyone in the comments obviously figured it out because I mean it's not difficult.
I mean, I know sometimes people accidentally use AI backgrounds, and that does happen.
It happened in Gacha Story, allegedly. Allegedly happened in Gacha Story.
But here's the thing about I don't know. I don't know. AI background is just a red flag. I don't like them. Don't use AR. Anyways, Ghosty, you can rejoin if you want. We have a spot open.
If you're like, yeah, absolutely. I will say this background here could very easily be from like a game akin to, like, say, The Sims 4, for example. Because actually, Ghosty herself made a bunch of backgrounds based on The Sims 4.
If it was The Sims, though, it would be a lot more 3D. It's not The Sims.
It looks relatively 3D to me, with the shadows and like the corner and such.
Yeah, but this is not 3D assets like The Sims. And I'm pretty sure the main girl also was like partially drawn over anyways, so...
Yes, so Ghosty's ones were drawn over, but I bet again, if this were like a Sims background...
A better comparison background-wise would probably be, no one has seen this, except for, like, Mod, but... And I guess on the server, I think maybe only posted some of the backgrounds, but, like, technically there are, like, Final Break backgrounds, which are The Sims. Those backgrounds are, in fact, from The Sims.
Yeah, another thing people mostly haven't seen, I guess, is the demos for Puppetry, the movie that Monet was going to make, and has like a few scenes that are still available to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puppetry.
If someone was in here, then maybe.
I mean, those ones are not edited; those are just straight up Sims. In fact, there's actually cutscenes that are from The Sims as well, which is very interesting because now with Gacha Story coming out, you know, make that like obviously having a visual novel format for cutscenes, people are starting to use the other Gacha games in order to not have because they're to factor in what the Gacha Story could not. Which interestingly enough, when Monet did it, you know, years before, she used Gacha for the visual novels to create them in a visual novel format and edit them together, but for the cutscenes, use The Sims. So it's like one like extra layer deep right now. It's very interesting.
Which, by the way, Jacob, Hybrid Academy, excited.
I have to talk to you about that because actually,
is there a problem?
A little bit. Well, yeah.
Oh God, your camera's dying. Well, that's a problem.
Aside from that problem, there is something that there are a couple of things I need to talk to you about specifically.
Okay, we can talk after stream if you're free. If you
absolutely. Yeah.
Anyways, she's become plastic overnight.
Time.
Like compare
we don't know if it's overnight.
Okay, so like again, going back to something like Mean Girls, you do see that progression with Katie as a character. You know, like you see that character progression. Since this has all been through exposition and like basically just through still images, and we haven't seen actually scenes, we don't see any progression. So she goes from presumably a nice person, presumably because we didn't even get a proper beginning point from her. Is the problem. We had like that opening scene, but we barely, not the opening scene, like that scene where she makes her books fall, but that tells me nothing about her as a person. I guess there was the party scene. Again, this video format isn't a good way to tell a story. It just isn't. It's not.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Definitely not.
Kill me.
Okay.
My brain's on fire, Jacob. Help.
Yeah, how about yours?
I wasn't like the elites. I used to think there was a secret rule book on how to fit in. Wear what they wear.
So
real dress.
They pick out her outfits. Now they pick out her outfits. Now we're talking a little bit.
Real dress, real red dress. From IRL world. Realistic dress, so no.
I still remember you wearing your red dress.
Listen, shush. Give me flashbacks, Jacob. Flashbacks. Vietnam flashbacks.
I'm getting flashbacks. I had to listen to that multiple times. I'm getting the flashbacks here.
Oh wait. Oh God, Jacob. I just realized you need to record the jeans.
Oh no, I know. I had stuff going on today. That's why I didn't do it yet.
Oh God. Okay, whenever you record that and edit it, send it to me, and I'll get the video done as fast as humanly possible.
All right.
Oh God.
We're gonna
do this last minute again. No.
I had other singing matters to attend to.
Yeah, sure. God. don't you love it when you become old money because people like you? I guess I don't know.
Gotcha title. I became old money because people like me.
Oh God.
All right.
Talk like them. Laugh at stuff that's not even funny.
You're not even
I wanna
laughing.
walk like you, talk like you, too.
You're not even laughing. And also, wait a minute. No, wait, is that no? That's not the guy who's part of the group. That's background character guy. I thought that was the guy who was part of the group.
Yeah,
I was like,
Luca. Wait, Luca's been ostracized. Maybe there was only room for 3 here. Luca was just a means to an end. They're gonna change her name to Blair now.
But the longer I stayed, the more I wanted to be like the elites. Not for the parties or the power, but because deep down, I didn't think just me was enough. I started skipping study.
Okay, by the way, that mirror reflection, nice that it was done, but also it was like it's massive in comparison. Like that is one big mirror right there. Yeah. Those colors are different. Yeah, I guess
The hall for spa nights. Homework was magically done.
Wait,
What?
but she has a perfect GPA. Why would she need someone else
why
to
do
match
you
with her
care?
homework?
Why do you care? You can whatever.
Why should you care? Her
Well,
GPA was already there.
Would it make more sense if if your character started off as maybe average intelligence, but like was super pretty and like the Mean Girls or whatever saw some potential in her? It's like, well, you may not have the best grades, but you do have the potential if we put a bit of makeup on you to be uber pretty. So join our group, and then we'll get you free good grades.
Yeah, you will be popular.
You're gonna be popular. Like, wouldn't that make more sense as a beginning point, or was it just in Mean Girls? Katie was good at math, therefore my main protagonist in AI voice acted story is going to be smart. Beep boop.
Beep boop, I'm AI.
Beep boop AI voice. God.
Oh, right. My camera
Teachers started
working now?
smiling at me differently. I told myself I
Smiling at you differently. So what? They first of all were like, "You got an A." Now they're like, "You got an A." Or I guess in this world, it's more like, "You got an A." Now they're like, "You got an A." It's just the same loop.
It's a loop, not a spiral.
No, we're spiraling.
earned it. But I knew something was off. I used to think Belgrave was broken. But it's not. It's designed like this.
I'm
to protect
broken.
people like Blair.
So it is broken then, is what you're saying.
You know,
crush people like me the
it's not broken. It's just design broken. I mean, it's still kind of broken.
Yeah, what is this? Is this not a bug? It's a feature moment. Like, what are we supposed to take away from this?
It's not a bug. It's a feature. The constant lag. It's a feature, guys.
Yeah, much like my camera right now.
Oh God! The second we forget, what did you do to get them to kick you out? God, what did you do? Did you make her fat? Did you feed her something bars? I forget what they're called in Mean Girls.
Yeah, they're like the one like specific brand or something. I've also forgotten.
I forgot what they're called. Also, I'm pretty sure this background's AI. This background is very much AI. The textures, and not to mention the text. Oh God, it's definitely AI.
Why is the background AI?
What? Stop using AI backgrounds. Because AI.
Me and you on this review, this will simply not fly.
Second, we forgot. Dun, dun, dun. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
we forget our place.
No, yeah, like the crushed cripple like you. The second we forget our place, we kind of like cut on the line a little bit. Yeah. Also, yeah, that's it. Buttloads of calories. There we go. That's what it was called, but it was something.
Multiple assignments appear nearly identical to those of past students. Answers sent from encrypted emails. That's not.
Wow, it's almost like, automating a process is going to yield you consequences. How ironic.
Yeah, isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
I do think, yes, very much so. I'll take away my wedding day over this.
Real. I didn't do this. Someone, Lena, maybe just admit it. You wanted to keep up. We get it. I mean, I tried to help you. She had everything. The wealth, the name, the connections. But it wasn't enough. She didn't want to win. She wanted to watch me lose.
Why? What did you do?
I guess she was bored. I get maybe because she had everything, she got bored or something.
She got bored, so hatched like a several week to month long scheme to destroy this girl. That's a lot of practice. That's a lot of time and energy. Come on, do something productive.
Do something with your life.
That's a lot of energy for what?
Her. That scholarship girl glow up was cute for a second. The kissing pic was genius. Can't believe you got it so clear.
I mean, it wasn't even like that good a photo, but all right.
Oh, that? Please. My dad donated the new cameras. I have access to all the feeds. You think I'd let...
That's not how donations work. That's also illegal. Did he donate the cameras with like inbuilt surveillance? Is that what you're trying to tell us right now?
Apparently,
That's the insinuation?
What is happening? I'm scared.
Let some nobody come into my school, wear my color, and steal my boy?
Well, you encouraged her to wear your color. She wasn't going to wear your color until you got involved. That doesn't make sense.
And also, she wouldn't. Also, she wouldn't have been around your boy if she didn't go to the party which you invited to.
Yeah, exactly. At most, she bumped into him. That would have been the end of their interactions. Otherwise,
yeah, it would have been. Oh, I'm sorry that I bumped into you. Okay, and then we move on. There are a lot of people bump into. There are a lot of people see in the hallway. There are a lot of people who pass by. It doesn't.
I thought Voldemort was self-sabotaging. Yeah, there you go.
This is just Mean Girls but bad.
So Mean Girls 2. I'm kidding.
Stop her, because her dad funds your new sports wing, right? Watch your tone, Ms. Quinn. I'm done watching.
Hold on a second. The principal of the school has a sports wing? That's both cool and bizarre. All right. I mean, nice to have a side hustle, I guess. Why not?
Everything I worked for, stolen, twisted.
How much time is in the video? Well, much like Torbeck said one time, it's only halfway done!
Oh, great. Kill me.
You've only been here for 5 minutes of video time.
Ah!
Scholarship revoked. It is like the
Wait.
Why is that on the envelope? That's the inside content from confidentiality reasons.
Wait a minute, but if her scholarship was revoked, why is she still going to the school?
She's wearing the scholarship uniform as well.
Why is she still going here? You don't go here!
Don't even go here.
Why?
Just because you put your hair over your face doesn't mean we can't recognize
They
you.
all stayed quiet. Because she wasn't just untouchable. She owned the silence.
Did it become a scandal that a person but apparently was caught doing plagiarism? Students don't care about this stuff.
What they had to do was stop playing by their rules and start exposing them with their own system.
Ah, yes, get their burn book.
Lena Quinn is standing before us to publicly apologize.
Oh! Another voice! Finally!
Wow, I didn't know you had the ability to do that. Amazing. God.
For mistakes.
I'm not going to apologize. I've
Oh.
been accused of cheating.
I'm not going to apologize for this
Also,
public
yeah.
giant apology.
Yeah, why? This is also not a thing that would happen. You don't give like students like an entire platform to issue an apology to the entire student body,
Yeah,
who
you
also
just-
would not care
you
about
just
this.
Get expelled. Well, okay, you get depends on it. College, you would get expelled. High school, not really. You would just probably get a bad grade. But
Yeah, yes, you would get disciplined in some way. Yeah, with college, sometimes you have to go up before like an academic board, is what I understand.
yeah, but like you don't like go up to the whole student body and be like, I am so sorry. I used ChatGPT. I couldn't help it.
Especially with that. Yeah, it was Blair. But when someone goes like, I watched the world burn, I got the gasoline, I watched the burn, and everyone get mean. Yeah. Jake from TMF says otherwise. Well, see, you know, at least, what was his name? Like Adam from My Passion. He at least knew to go to the person's house and serenade them from outside. You know. You know that you know if I
Okay,
My Passion song, that'd be my one.
Jake wasn't accused of plagiarism by the school. It had consequences because of the school. He had social consequences for something he said. That is a difference. It wasn't about like legal / school consequences. It was social consequences imposed by a student body. So this is not really Jake, because Jake's a bit of a different case, because it's not like he got accused of plagiarism and he just went up to the school and be like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What would sound more robotic? This AI singing or Anthony with his autotune?
Oh God.
Anyway.
Lena Quinn is standing before us to publicly.
Okay, so now we're going back to this. Yeah, it does seem like a bit of like an awkward shuffle because I got bars to go back to the walk cycle. It is definitely a little bit of an awkward shuffle. I wonder if I can. Can I? Oh wait, I switched camera settings.
Hello, the virtual camera. Jacob died. Okay, guys, I'm taking over the stream now. This is Aiden only Gacha review. We don't need Jacob. Jacob's canceled. Anyways, yes. Welcome.
Apologize for mistakes.
Walk.
I'm not going to apologize.
I'm not gonna apologize. Of cheating. On my math homework.
Cheating. But if we're talking about truth, then let's talk about what really happens at Belgrave.
Okay. How'd you get this? How did you get this?
I mean, I guess she was hanging out with her constantly, but what? But how did she? But how did Blair not catch her reporting this? And also, I like how it says like confidential at the top, but it also says exam answers in big letters. Like we don't want him to know that the exam answers are in this book.
Relax. It's not
Oh no, smoking. That never happens in high school.
hacking if the school never finds out. We'll change.
Oh, okay. I guess. Wait.
Wait,
Oh,
girl, how did you hack the security cameras? She hacked the security cameras to expose her hacking. What?
It turns out. It turns out that it was actually Lena's dad who owned the security cameras and donated them. Wait, no. Hold on, no, I got this. It was Blair's dad who donated the cameras, but it was Lena's dad who manufactured the cameras. So he's the real one with the footage or access. I don't know anymore. Yeah, probably. Also, where is she going right now?
Change your grades, then swap Lena's exam file with the one I edited. What if someone checks? They won't. Everyone's too scared of my name. Besides, let's be honest.
But someone would check Lena's name to see if Lena did something. If it came up with your name, first of all, you're a bad hacker. Secondly, like it was, you could at least say Lena was innocent and was, and someone was sabotaged. I was in that situation. If I was scared of her for whatever reason, if I was in like a Principal Damocles situation and Chloe Bourgeois did something, I would just say, oh, I don't know, an anonymous person, affected the grades or something. We can't say who it was, but we can say this person's innocent. That's what I would say in that situation. Then again, I guess in that situation, Chloe would probably be like, I don't want my father mayor to find out that this school is so terrible that it wouldn't bother accusing somebody at least of, I don't know, something like that. Whatever.
No one wants the scholarship girl to win. This is who you let run Belgrave.
No one wants the scholarship girl to win, except the people who issued the scholarship.
Belgrave isn't yours anymore. You don't deserve the silence you paid for.
Okay, here's the problem with this. If it's a broken system and the elites... Okay, here's the problem is if it's a broken system and like the elites are benefiting from this particular situation, then they most likely are already aware this is going on, and they're not going to do anything about it, because exposing a corruption in a system to the people benefiting from said system usually does not yield you any results.
Just
for obvious reasons.
Just show the people especially in U.S. politics that they're like, hey, here's corruption, and then they'll care.
Well, yeah, either like some sort of like government board, as I indicated there, or the press. The press will eat this up for sure.
And I feel like doesn't everybody know she's horrible? Doesn't the whole school know that because she's a mean girl? I thought everyone.
Well, I mean, potentially, like the facade, especially towards the elites, would be that she is nice. But again, like this also thing was like, oh yeah, this is the system that you like benefit from. Here's one person who is sabotaging that right now. That could send the message that if you get rid of that one person, then everything goes back to normal. Which is kind of also the issue with Mean Girls in a sense of like, oh yeah, suddenly Regina George like gets like dethroned, and then everything gets better magically speaking. Compared to like the commentary about the whole system in general up until that point and the jungle metaphor and such. Yeah. The ending of Mean Girls is one that I'm not a huge fan of, but the rest of it, what it took to get there, very much so.
So here's the noise.
The mic stand looks like, okay, yeah. Let's have a general thing where we say, okay, the assets used in this, like the backgrounds and such, may be AI. We don't know, but it's possible given what we've seen thus far. Just in general. Someone took okay, I guess someone took a picture of her. All right, I guess cameras are allowed in the school auditorium.
How would she get all this evidence, though? How'd she get all this evidence?
I guess maybe she pretended to be on her phone just so she could record them or something.
But she would have to.
Oh no, she had cameras. Okay, never mind. They have like actual cameras.
But like, there was no. We saw, for starters, we saw security cam footage. So somehow she got her hand on security camera footage. Not to mention, I assume she wouldn't be getting evidence of her friends at the time period if she, before they betrayed her. So she would have to somehow sneak all this evidence after they betray her. This is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I should have said something. I should have done something.
You did nothing. You're awful.
And this is where dare I say, instead of comparing Bond's work, and I'll compare my own here. This is the same choice that Marwick had to make. He had to deal with that and still process things as after they happened in season 2. But in season 1, he made the call relatively quickly because he realized, oh yeah, like I need to come to reason with this, and the fallout after was like, you made that decision, but at what cost?
Comparing this to Marwick, though, here's the thing: at least Marwick made the decision to expose Pop for the group project, so he played a hand in the exposing Pop for that situation. In this case, the storyline, he had played no hand, and he's only apologizing after his previous friends got caught and had consequences attributed to them. So he's only sorry he did none of the work, and now he's sorry after, he basically got away scot-free, and it's like, oh, I should have did something, even though I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
This is great. He's a great character. You know, he deserves no consequences. No consequences. He did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, like we should be proactive to like make them interesting.
He wasn't even a good. He's not a good love interest. Yep. Everything's fine. Everything's sunshine and rainbows, Jacob.
Yeah, he's yeah. I wouldn't go as far to call him a bad love interest, but he just milked us. He's just kind of there. He just kind of exists.
He's not. He doesn't really have much of a point besides the fact that besides I guess a motivation for the mean girl to go after discount.
He's not even a true Blair. He's not even a true Blair. You could have made him a third Blair. They could have been lesbians. I don't know.
Well, isn't Blair a gender neutral name? Isn't there boy Blairs? He could have been named Blair.
I actually don't know. I don't know. Let me check that.
I'm pretty sure there could be boy Blairs.
Male. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you're right. Blair is a boy's name, which is from Scotland. It's used mainly for boys there. It's very easy to come across a female Blair in Scotland. Okay, so yeah, fair enough then.
He could be named Blair. He could be Scottish. That's
all
fine. Right. We got the Blairs.
Scottish born, kumbaya. All right.
Listen, Bon, I'm broken. I'm broken. This video broke me.
I know. That's why I didn't take you down with the rest of them.
Oh, so you why?
I had footage of you as well, but you know, what's a little bit of corruption among exposers of corruption, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Morals!
Because deep down, I know you're not like them.
How do you know that? You barely know him!
I think they've been friends for some time. Like, this montage does suggest that a lot of time has passed.
There's still a
but you know what would have helped during the montage if we actually showed them hanging out, but we only emphasized her hanging out with the two girls.
Yeah, that's also true.
I need to find myself without drowning in someone else's shadow.
You know what? Fair. You know, again, it's rare to have it. You know, I would say that it's rare in these situations to actually, you know, have a character realize like, okay, you know, like you're not the best for me or in general right now, so I need to be by myself because after everything that's happened, I'm not ready to trust you just yet, but I know there's something in there. So work on yourself a bit and then we'll talk. That's a very rare ending, is what I would say. If it weren't for the fact that, you know, the video is 10 minutes long and we have 3 remaining.
What are you? No! Jacob, let me get this straight. So within the course of 8 minutes, she was unpopular, average girl, met mean girls, befriended them.
She became not your average girl.
Become a mean girl, then got like harmed by the mean girls because some petty boyfriend thing. And then she somehow found a way to expose them, and now we're here. And within 7 minutes. This is not 7 minutes of heaven. Not to mention all the exposition bits, which took place over like 30 seconds. Like we had like maybe a minute and a half total of like the exposition bits we cut to. So we only really properly had like 5.5 minutes of actual scenes.
Possibly even less if you consider like the opening narration. Yeah. I mean, again, for a montage style thing, again, not my favorite format, but I can understand the pacing being like this. I mean, most My Story animated videos, as you point out, are usually 10 minutes long. But then again, My Story animated is probably even shorter in some cases because a lot of those that time was dedicated to, you know, their outro, read by the same voice actor at the time. Is almost as broken as Jacob was during Strike Back. Yeah, and that's not even mentioning how broken both of us were, and also KW. Well, it was Ghosty and I, wasn't it? Yeah, and KW in the what was it? Childhood Origins. You know, that still broke us the most out of all Johnny's videos. But Strike Back is a definite second.
God, you'll be okay. Just promise me you won't stand in silence again. My name was cleared. Oh. My scholarship was restored.
Oh, and again, well, you were still at the school. You were still at the school. How does this work? Explain.
Okay. So Okay, so my understanding is that if a scholarship, if a portion of a scholarship has already been paid, then you have the time before they charge you the next part of your tuition. If your scholarship is removed, that'd be when your next charge would actually apply, and then they would interfere. Is my knowledge at least. I'm only basing this off of the plot line in the Adult Lives of College Girls is what I'm going to call that show for this channel. That's not his actual title, but one word is off. Yeah, and in that one there is a character whose scholarship gets revoked after actually also involving test results, except she actually did cheat, so it was deserved at that point. That was the season finale cliffhanger, and then afterwards they dealt with that where she was trying, for the first couple of episodes of season 2, she was trying to find jobs or a way to earn money very quickly. Eventually sells an egg donation of all things, and then gets a payoff to continue her tuition basically. So there was a bit of a grace period before they would have charged her next, is what I'm saying. I think it was the case for her, it was the next year. So I guess the scholarship would pay for the year in this case, and then although now I think about it, actually she's a senior, so
it was her last year. So
yeah, now that I'm saying that doesn't work.
If they revoked her scholarship, she wouldn't have been.
Maybe it was on a semester basis. I don't remember. I got to watch that show again. Actually, it's been a while.
Adult Girls in City.
That's not the show. It's the College Girls one. Not the. Yeah, Adult in the City. That's a different series, and also does not involve scholarships, to my understanding.
I don't know. Maybe it does.
The teachers and principals.
Yeah.
What? Oh, they went to jail. They went to jail.
The elites. Over. I came to.
Oh, they died.
That's all you need, I guess. Never mind. Even Mean Girls. Much as I don't like the ending of Mean Girls, they at least showed what happened to Regina, for crying out loud.
Future.
My name is Regina George, and my story is so much better. Why did they copy our movie? I don't. God. Anyways.
What are my tweezers? Did I pick negatives? He said it. Ginger-rated videos are after each other. Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. Even I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched a number. I watched the Witch Academy one. That was an interesting one.
Who I was.
A plane would never fly that low over a city.
That plane's about to crash. Oh no.
It's flying upwards. It's just, yeah, if it doesn't move away from something, it might end up colliding with a building unintentionally. Yeah, just on the way, might graze its wings or something.
Oh, does this video take place in 2001?
Okay, hold on a second. So she wants to be a top businesswoman. So the fact she's buying the Hollywood sign right now, and receiving an award, which by the way looks like the Star of the Week award we used to get in my old drama club actually. Yeah, so it doesn't play entertainment. So maybe she became like a casting agent or a producer of some kind. That would be an interesting idea. You don't see people often thinking about the other people involved, the filmmaking process, than just the actors, because obviously they're the ones that are on the screen. It makes the most sense. But yeah, why not? A little bit of representation, I suppose, if that is where they're going with this.
I doubt it. Also,
unless Hxnnah forgot that that this was that her goal was to become a top businesswoman, and just made her an actress. But I don't know.
Well, what's she a business? What does she want to be a businesswoman of, though? I feel like being a businesswoman, you kind of should probably specify. What kind of industry do you want to go into?
The filmmaking industry, obviously, thus she was behind the Hollywood.
But there's God, but
that was the intention.
From a dream perspective, though, normally you're I want to be a businesswoman and blank. It's not I want to be a business. It's not a career. A businesswoman, itself isn't a career. You got to be more specific.
I want to be where the business is. I want to see the agents.
Oh God.
Scoring some actors for, what do they call it? Casts. She went on to direct Mean Girls. Yeah, the next Mean Girls remake they do, yeah. Which, there is a remake of Mean Girls, actually. That they made, like, in 2011 or something.
The lights are...
No? Is there?
Well, that might have been Mean Girls 2. Might have come out in 2011.
They had Mean Girls too, but they also had the recent Mean Girls musical adaptation from like last year.
Right.
Which the musical adaptation was not good.
When the world turns cold, when your name is dragged through dirt and no one stands up, you learn that your heart doesn't come first.
When the world's at stake and there are lives to save. Okay. Also, this image, like the text seems to be accurate, but just inverted. Except for that one R, I guess, which is not inverted compared to the rest of them. That's weird. But everything else seems to like line up. It's not like the text is warped. So either this isn't AI or it's very good AI.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be AI is technically and unfortunately getting better. Unfortunately, getting better, which is concerning.
Caught in a terrible romance.
Oh, I see human hands.
Fla, 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 fla. La. We'll take your leather pants. Okay.
Your future does. You do. I didn't walk away from him because I stopped caring.
This is so My Story animated coded. I hate it. I hate it. Why?
I cared about myself more. And maybe that's what real power looks like.
Again, it's a nice message. Absolutely. And I said before, it's a rare thing to see. And I'm glad that they seem to be going in that direction and sticking to it rather than backtracking over the last few minutes. Although that does raise the question what the last 2 minutes are going to be. Is this going to be outros or not?
Is this going to be credits? The voice spot I used was... Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is just an outro. Okay. Hold on. Is it seriously 2 minutes and 10 seconds of credits? Wait a second. Yeah, hold on. I'm skipping ahead. Oh my goodness. I haven't pressed pause. The video is still playing. The music has ended, but the video is still going.
Oh no!
I saw this on like the audio tracks when I was editing the audio of this. And it's like, oh, okay, there's like a gap here. After the music is like the one part of the waveform that's
Jacob, the video has to be 10 minutes. The video has to reach that 10-minute mark. It's very important.
It actually isn't important anymore. They
lowered it to 8 minutes. They lowered it to 8 minutes, so it doesn't even have to be 10 minutes anymore. But this person... Oh god, this is how I'm gonna start elongating like falling classes. Don't worry, it'll just be a silent end screen for like extra like 3 minutes to get that watch hours up.
No, just play one of the songs on like the OST. Actually, that'd be a way to end it.
I'll just play Wings and then give it a shot to extend it.
Well, I didn't mean both of them, but yeah,
both.
I was thinking alternate between them, but yeah, that would technically also work.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Reconsider what you thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was awful.
It was not good for sure. Again, I'm not as much of a fan of this style as I am of like the typical stuff. I appreciate the attempt to shift in and make something a little bit different, and clearly the audience also appreciated that. I mean, this montage style can work in certain instances. Again, like I said, I don't dislike all my story animated videos, and they have definitely improved over the years. So there is something to that. Obviously, people copied the format. Or technically speaking, it wasn't their format. It was actually somebody else like actually happened that started that whole trend in the first place. But even so, like there is something that is so fascinating about it, and when done correctly and the story elements like do match, it can be quite something. Even if the animation back in those days when it was awful, this one you know, again, first entry to tweening, so, you know, cut a little bit of slack. There are some areas where it was like, yeah, definitely, as Bomb pointed out, some stuff that left a lot to be desired. And I said, you know, some of the corners being cut were probably corners you didn't want to cut necessarily, or they weren't properly hidden, like the bumping into Luca at the start. That was a fairly obvious one compared to potentially like having the same looped animation over different backgrounds. That would have been like much more subtle in that case. I mean, if we go by like the anime inspiration, aside from the fan service shot that we had at one point, reusing animation is extremely common there, especially because like they are like so like pressed for time most of the time in those situations. So yeah, you see that a lot in like very creative ways, or the way they try to like mask the fact they have no movement with some other aspects of just like panning shots. There are ways to cut down where it's like a little bit more subtle that I would definitely suggest at this point. Although of course, my biggest suggestion naturally would have been to hire, you know, existing human voice actors.
No, people are clearly not. No, AI's got it. Definitely, they got it. Definitely.
Especially one voice for everyone. I mean, doing one voice for every character.
No, it's one. No, it's one. It's two voices. That random, that random man in the middle.
I do like how the announcer was given special treatment and he would show up. There you go.
He didn't even. Oh God!
Yeah.
They couldn't have at least gave like that the male sounding voice to at least like the love interest. I mean, the least you could have did is that. I don't know. That wouldn't have been bad.
They are in high school. Maybe Luca's voice hasn't broken yet or something. I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, if he's a senior, he probably had his voice broken at this point.
Yeah, like, I've only known like 2 seniors who that didn't happen to during at their time in high school, and one of them I'm still friends with, and like, it did happen obviously much later on. So yeah, but it's rare. It can happen, but you know, unlikely in most situations.
Oh God.
I didn't like pretty much this spawn. The only thing I liked were the designs. The story was ripped off, used AI, and background editing was average, but something should have been compensating. The story, the thing we praised it for 5 months ago, fell off entirely. You took everything good from Migos and mixed it with a pile of garbage. It's pretty disappointing. Yeah, I mean, you could say, I mean, if we're talking about nominations for easiest storyline to follow, technically, this was an easy storyline to follow because it rammed it down everyone's throats. It's just not, you know, you storyline to follow in a flattering angle. That criteria is mainly reserved for, you know, in terms of like visual storytelling, environmental, like all those aspects, you know, not overcomplicating things, rather than, you know, this is exactly what is going on here. I will narrate every aspect of this. And again, I don't hate narration over the entire video because it is more consistent than most narrators are. And that's like the biggest complaint. It's a shame that the narrator sounded the way that they did. I mean, and
I am Purple Shep. I am Purple Shep.
Yeah.
I am here to narrate my life as Purple Shep.
Even Purple Shep is entertaining. It's amazing how the team managed to like pull off like 2 different like, you know, text-to-speech characters with like minuscule like technology in comparison to what we have today, and yet they feel more fleshed out and not human because they're sheep, but you know, like they feel more identifiable and entertaining. Like at least, and that was part, and how it was like so scuffed was like part of the entertainment towards it. This was not intended to be scuffed in this way, and even then, speaking of adversaries, we've critiqued them for like intentionally scuffing things on purpose, and they not actually. But even then, that's like a hard line to follow. This was not intended to be that case. It was so I appreciate the experimentation, but it just did not work. And there are some things in here that I definitely would have avoided entirely, especially given the current landscape of the entertainment industry as a whole. Not saying exactly the best example. I mean, and bear in mind as well, on YouTube, if you watch this same video, it's even worse because remember, this is that on this StreamYard, it fixed the issue with the audio. And then I also made this edited version. But see, this thing, so in order to do that, what I had to do was I had to separate the stereo audio, split it to stereo to mono, to have 2 separate tracks. I copied them to do a stereo track and then I have that repeat itself. It was a very easy fix, but again, it's something that's not present in the actual video. Although, as a side note, actually, that does mean that one of those tracks had no AI voice whatsoever, and it just had the music alongside it. So technically speaking, an individual or a group of individuals that would want to use this for any dubbing purposes could very much make a human version of this exact same story with all of the other sound effects completely intact.
Oh.
You know, hypothetically speaking, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do that.
Hypothetically speaking.
Maybe someone who has also thought, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea to do dubs of other shows some other point?
I mean, it's not well written, but I mean, it could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. As long as that there's, that person is not purely whiz gaming and try to like add too much extra ad-lib commentary over the top of it, there could be something to that idea.
God, I really want to do like gacha, like I want to convert some non-voice acted gachas that I like to voice acted gachas through the power of dubbing. It's not the same as Spanish dubs that I want to do eventually. Different concept, but similar idea.
That's a whole different thing. Speaking of that, actually, Hxnnah has a second channel with only 2 videos on it right now, but actually it has like an Indonesian like version of those videos, basically, with the same. That's one benefit of like captions. Is the idea that I have the Albridge Academy actually of using the narrator to actually translate those episodes much more easily. I went so far as to actually at one point render a version without the captions on in the first place, so it'd be easier. But actually, they're all in the same place anyway because it's narrator, so it wouldn't make a difference. But yeah, that's one thing that I thought of doing at some certain point if I ever made a Spanish channel for whatever reason. So yeah, I guess yeah, someone very much could do that.
Potentially.
I think part of the reason I was lagging before is I rendered a silent version, so you never know. Anyone interested?
We can actually give each character voices and not just have the AI voice everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Probably won't fix everything. It won't fix most things, but it will fix the main issue. And that's all that you need. If the issue was to think you like, oh, I can't find any other voice actors, that is absolutely not the case. We're all very much still out there. If anything, that's reason to redub this at all, or is to prove that we're still out there. But yeah, we can all write a better story than this. We can all voice better than this, and Bond can tween better than this. So there's not much for us to grasp on in this one aside from what not to do, which has value in of itself, especially for the non-existent ESAWs that never actually get made into anything. So with that in mind, I guess we'll talk about the main actual plan. I'd say the singing competition and such. I guess Bon, if you want a reminder of that, then you can then we'll invite you to here. And in the meantime, I'll talk to Aiden about the other thing he mentioned.
Yes.
So yeah, guys, let's talk about some good projects, shall we? So yeah, we could also sing about. Yeah, true. We could turn this into a musical very easily. Oh wait, no, but I guess not with the captions. Anyway, so yeah, please either like or dislike because your opinion matters. And I've done so already. And on that note, until next time,
farewell. Drugs.